The strange arrangements at Camp Bloomfield transmedia story began with our live event, which consisted of a newspaper article shown here that was sent out to various student organizations. It was also posted at a lot of high traffic areas on campus with the intention of providing the link to people on campus of where the story begins in hopes that they would go there and go through our story. So here's where the link goes to the main hub of the story, which is also Denny's blog. Here you can see sort of a teaser video of Kathleen being abducted, again, just to sort of convince people that the story is worth getting into. If we dig deeper here, we enter into Denny's blog, where Denny has some posts about the camping trip that he's about to go on. There's also a phone conversation that you can play here of him asking all his friends to go camping with him. A camping list is shown here as well. In short, Denny and his friends Emily, Jacob, and Kathleen go camping in Camp Bloomfield. As they are camping at night, they notice some strange lights that are happening in the forest, particularly in the sky, and they're not real sure what they're from. Emily wants to go investigate, but Denny isn't so sure due to a lot of problems he ran into in the past, which are indicated here through a newspaper article and a police report. We also have a video on Jacob's blog here that's shown of Denny and Emily getting into a bit of a conflict over this particular topic. We jump to the next day, where we have videos of the group sitting around a campfire deciding what they're going to do the next day, and also a video of Jacob confronting Denny about his relationship with Kathleen, and we get a little bit of character development there. We also have a link going to Jacob's blog, where Kathleen convinces Denny to go investigate the strange lights, which is exactly what is done, as you can see here, by more blog posts from Denny. We cut now to the investigation that's taking place in the woods. Our characters run into Harold and Ira, who are two conspiracy theorists in the woods, two older gentlemen who give the group some clues as to what may be happening in the woods. And again, we have more blog posts here explaining what happened. We have a short little video of Denny and Kathleen setting up the tent from a video blog from Jacob, just as sort of an extra little tidbit. But then we jump to that night where Jacob tells ghost stories to the group as they sit around the campfire. And then, as we can see from the blog from Denny, and if we click on this, which takes us to a video blog from Jacob, Kathleen has been abducted, and we see the abduction video again. Going back to Denny's blog, we can see that the group is trying to figure out what exactly happened to Kathleen. If we click on this link, we go to the Indiana DNR blog, where we can listen to the phone call Emily calls in to report that Kathleen is missing, as she calls Officer Barrett at the DNR. We also have a nice little audio clip from Denny explaining that what happened, and that he feels like he needs to save Kathleen at whatever cost. And so as we continue on with these blog posts from Denny, we can see the search for Kathleen begins. They run into some trouble as they search for clues. We have a nice little video of Jacob here from Emily's blog, and if we continue back to Denny's blog, we can see that if we click on the link to Jacob's blog, we can see the footage of him being chased by what we call the Swamp Man, the creature that kidnapped Kathleen. Heading back to Denny's blog, Denny leaves Emily with Jacob, and he goes to find Ira just to see if they can help with the search for Kathleen, and we have an audio clip of him talking to Ira about that. In that video, Denny figures out that Battery Solutions is behind what's going on in the woods, and he also figures out that there's a shed down by the river and guesses that's probably where Kathleen's being held. So Denny returns to Jacob and Emily, and they sort of get a plan of attack set up for how they're going to save her. And we hear another nice little audio clip from Denny about feeling that he's responsible for his friends and for Kathleen. And then we come to the fight scene. We have a nice little blog post explaining what happened during the fight, and we also have some wonderful pictures of Denny being thrown into the river by the swamp man and then coming out as a mutant because he was affected by the toxic waste. And he then fights the swamp man and defeats him. We also see that during this, if we jump over to Emily's blog, Emily runs to the garage and attempts to break open the lock. However, she is unable to do so, so she has to leave. And luckily, Denny, with his new superpowers, is able to break open the lock. And if we click on this link, we are taken to Emily's blog, where she manages to capture a clip of Denny breaking the lock off and saving Kathleen. And as we sort of hit the conclusion of the story, Denny sort of gives a little bit of a reaction to Kathleen's reaction to his new mutation. We also have a link that takes us to Emily's blog, where she says goodbye to Ira in a video. As Denny returns to the campsite, he is attacked by Officer Barrett, and we have a video clip of him with his new mutant powers tying Officer Barrett up after he realizes he's being attacked, and Officer Barrett is defeated. We scroll down more. Emily has created a cleanup strategy, which is found on her blog, of how the river can be cleaned up and battery solutions can be stopped. And at the end of the story, we have some reactions and revelations from the characters, an audio clip of Denny explaining why he doesn't think he can enter back into society, and we also have a post here of him sort of explaining this and that he feels like he needs to stay in the woods. We also have a response from Emily as well. And we also have the new student group that Emily decides to create at school to, again, help stop Battery Solutions, as well as companies like Battery Solutions, which is the conclusion of the story, sort of what comes out of the journey that the heroes have taken. And that is Strange Arrangements at Camp Bloomfield, as told through many different mediums, a live event, video, graphics, pictures, blog posts, and that's our story.